And welcome into the Rob and Kale Show. I'm Rob Sanders. Jackpot, I'm not on my game tonight, but we're going to have a great show anyway. But I tell you what, we got a hurricane beaming down on the state of Florida. We're going to try to bring some happiness to some folks tonight that are probably watching on their phones or whatever. I know that the state of Florida is getting beat down pretty serious right now, but welcome in my podcast
hmm
first. He is the number one Gamecock YouTuber on the planet. He is Carolina Jackpot, Mr. Kale Hall.
What's up, guys? Carolina Jackpot checking in, and yeah, you're absolutely right. I hadn't seen anything whoop Florida's ass like this damn Hurricane Ian since since Tennessee.
Hey, we're not mocking folks down there. I mean, there are some folks that are having some issues down there, and I don't know. I mean, it's just sad. I mean, you can't really um, fight what's going on down there. Billy's got the good comment there. Thoughts and prayers for the hurricane victims. Yes, sir. Mike's got the same thing. We all see each other's face in on this show, but when you see some of the stuff that's happened down there, I was down in Charleston working for my job today, and there was a one of the guys that works down there that his brother lives down near Tampa, and he said that basically the bay had almost been sucked dry from where the water's being pulled out, and then all of it's going to be pushed back in really, really quick here. It's
I'm telling you, there's no way I wouldn't live down. No, hell no, just wouldn't do it. Nice place to visit,
yeah.
not a good place to live. Couldn't do it.
Joe says, "Hey boys, love your videos. Vol fan from New York City. I didn't think they let you Tennessee fans up there in the old big city, but hey, holy
Hey,
shit."
no ball fan, New York City.
Chris Foster says Coolio is dead at 59. How the fuck can Coolio die? Oh,
The
that's not
same
good.
way, same way they usually do.
Yeah. Hmm. Joe says he took 6 hours to Pitt to watch the game. Yeah, hey, big win there for the Vols. All right. Anyway, we're gonna do some stuff tonight. Apparently, there's people that Jackpot sent me some stuff, and we'll go over some of that in a minute. Let's thank Callaway's for sponsoring the Callaway's Pick'em Challenge. Callaway'sBarandGrill.com if you're in Columbia. And by the way, shout out to all the Georgia fans who went to Callaway's the night before the Georgia game. And essentially, from what I'm hearing, uh, basically made it a Georgia bar. I mean, that's
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
mean, how
hearing.
does that? What do they do turn something into a Georgia bar? I mean, do they?
Well,
They
they take
dump
a bunch
cow
of their
manure on the
acid.
floor, and
Yeah,
you know,
you're probably right. I tell you what,
start
but anyway,
fornicating with their sister over in the corner. I mean, I don't really know what one
I
does to
don't
turn
know.
something into a Georgia bar.
I have no clue. But anyway, thank you guys for doing that and for supporting two brothers that have their own little restaurant there basically. Anyway, go and check them out. Callaway'sBarandGrill.com. They will be broadcasting the South Carolina game tomorrow night as South Carolina plays SC State. Mike Luke with the super chat. Jackpot, is it true you think Sonic is better than Zaxby's?
No, I don't recall saying that.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
No, no, that's not.
Anyway,
Sonics used to be okay. It's gotten kind of
yeah.
nasty now.
We also have Dennis Wilson from DNC Trucking and Transport. Fireside chats with Uncle Jackpot. Jackpot, tell us a story.
Okay. It sucks to be a Gamecock. Hey, did you know that our team has gotten so bad this year that we have gotten demoted from the varsity to the JV? That's right. That's why we're playing our game on Thursday night. And you better remember, it always sucks to be a Gamecock. Go Tigers.
That message courtesy of Dennis Wilson, DNC Trucking and Transport. I mean, Jackpot's just spitting facts tonight. And hey, that's just the way that it is. All right. So before we do our picks, Jackpot, and before we take phone calls, Why don't I share? We'll do the audio portion first with the from this is from the Menace to Society podcast, right? Where Zach Smith,
Mr. Sports.
Menace to Sports, sorry. I don't know why I'm thinking Menace to Society. Anyway, this is from Zach Smith. I'll play the little piece here. You guys can see that. And basically, this guy is kind of, well, we'll just play it. Here we go.
I don't know this guy, Chris. You mentioned he's a YouTuber, but here's what he had to say. Zach Smith is the biggest loser fraud in the college football world. He got his boss fired, embarrassed his family, and an otherwise respectable university. Continues to call Dabo a racist simply because he got embarrassed in the playoffs. Zach, debate me, clown emoji. You won't, though, middle finger. I immediately responded, debate you on what? I think I said what your favorite cereal is, because that's about all you're qualified to debate me on. And that's my favorite. Let's put, what was his name, Chris? Foreskin Pete. Foreskin Pete is his YouTube name. What do you think Foreskin Pete's competency or resume looks like?
All right. So with that, the reason that we showed you that is because Jackpot called Pigskin Pete Foreskin Pete first. So that tells me.
Yeah. I came up with that first.
Yeah, that guy's stealing from you, Jackpot.
He is. I mean, I'm going to have to go after him for copywriting.
Yeah. So here's the thing though with Zach Smith. This guy had, and I'm bringing up everything that's here because this guy, here's the thing with Zach Smith, for those that don't remember, and we'll read this comment in a moment. He was arrested for allegedly battering his wife, who was pregnant at the time, in 2009, grabbed the victim by her t-shirt, picked her up, and threw her into a bedroom wall. So this guy, look, I can tell you this about Pigskin Pete. He's not going to do that to his wife. I know that. I don't think Pigskin Pete has also had a barrage of sex toys sent to his office. Okay. So if Zach Smith wants to like fuck around with Pigskin Pete, if Pigskin Pete doesn't want to do that, I'll go toe to toe with Zach Smith and I'll tell him, here's what I'm qualified to do. I'm qualified to be a better human being than you are because I didn't beat my wife when she was pregnant. And I also didn't get sex toys sent to my office. That seems to be the only thing that you could do. And by the way, that's what you are on your podcast. You talk about this great football acumen you have. You may have been a gifted football coach, but you had to get out of it because you were a shithead and you beat your wife. So you know what?
Well, in all fairness, all that's all alleged. I mean, none of us were there.
I have a police report, sir. I can't go with a police report. There's no police report saying that I beat my wife. Just saying.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, none of us were there.
He is guilty of stealing from you. I have that on record.
He did do that
first. He did do that. So fuck that guy. Anyway, Big Barney Ross says Lane Kiffin dressed like a golf pro 5 years. 5 years now. Real Tech has taken over. He looks like a Bass Pro fisherman in his press conference all week. Very good. And by the way, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jackpot.
So that's interesting. That's all I had to say.
Lane Kiffin's mom breastfed him with implants in when he was a baby.
That's insane.
Shit. All right. Anyway, I'm not a Zach Smith guy. So, but I'm on Twitter at Rob Sounds Good if you want to debate there. But all I'm going to do is cut and paste pictures of the police report that's online and ask you to defend that.
I mean, I enjoy listening to his podcast. I mean, it's not like, I mean, he's not my hero or anything, but.
Oh, and that's fine. That's fine. Anyway. Anyway. The other thing,
he gave out a little bit of shitty betting advice.
Yeah. He probably cost you some money, didn't he, Jackpot?
No, I didn't. No, I do that on my own. I lose my own money. I don't need anybody to help me. But no, what was it? He called he gives like 3 locks of the week. A few weeks ago, one of his locks of the week was the Gamecocks covering that 9-point spread or whatever it was at Arkansas. Yeesh. Yeesh.
Yeah, how'd that work out for you?
Yeah.
No, I'll pick that too. So anyway, we got one more thing to share here. And this is somebody that I don't know what this guy's fucking problem is, but let's see here. Stop that screen. Hold on. And then we'll start sharing this other one. Window. Here we go. All right. So Jackpot, tell me about this guy. What is the deal with
So he's changed his name. He used to be known as Clemson Clutch Sports. He actually, I follow him just because he's such a fucking little shithead that I just like giving him jabs whenever the moment calls for it. Now he's changed his name to Clemson Addict, which I'm not really sure about that. I don't know if that's a smart thing to do. I mean, Clemson Addict might mean you got the clap or something. But anyway, I retweeted some dumb shit that he had put out there yesterday. He says he had to screenshot it for everybody. You got no likes on this post, not one.
Stop, Jackpot, stop. Aaron Judge hit his 61st home run. I have to interrupt like I'm ESPN. Sorry, go ahead.
All right, thank God. Did it take this long?
Yeah, I figured if I didn't stop immediately, we weren't an actual sportscast. We have to stop like ESPN, even though they're putting it in the middle of all the college football games, even though none of us like the Yankees at all. But anyway, Aaron Judge hit his 61st homer in case any of our massive audience here wants to know, and they're not watching ESPN tonight. So there you go.
So this guy actually went so far as to, he didn't block me, but he muted me so that he can't ever see what I say unless I retweet something he does, or I don't know, something. You know what? You're just a Clemson Addict. If you ever watch this show, which I'm sure that you do, you're just a bitch-made bitch. You're just a bitch-made bitch. That's exactly what you are. Your big ass, and I know it's your big ass, because I saw he screenshotted how good of a guy he is. He ordered a Louisiana Tech T-shirt from their athletic department because they were so nice to Clemson last week, and he showed the little order form where he ordered it. He saw a fucking 3X on it. That gum, son, 3X. You might want to lay off them cheeseburgers a little bit, I reckon. God dang. So whatever. You're just a big fat bitch-made bitch. That's all I got to say.
Hey, bitch-made bitch should be a T-shirt, by the way. We should get. You know what? My wife has been after me to get merch.
That's actually a Zach Smith term. Bitch-made bitch.
Oh, we can't have that term then. I don't want to take something from him. Mike says, Tater Man, we can agree and unify that baseball crap was insane. Ruined the Wake Clemson game. Yeah,
it did. I was so damn pissed. Every time there was a big play or something was going on, and then here he comes, and they had to make it full screen, and then they would divide it and put Clemson over here on half the screen. That's fine because they're half a football team. But there's half the screen is Clemson, and half the screen is his ass over here trying to hit his damn home run, and they walked him 2 times. And then his stupid ass struck out. I'm like, God dang. I'm like, this sport only exists right now because of history, and because it's just what has always been for so many years. Nobody gives a fuck about baseball in September, unless your team is in the pennant race. Other than that, do you think anybody's watching the Reds right now?
Respectfully, Big Barney Ross is watching every fucking pitch. I know that.
Do they still call up all the minor leaguers in September? They still do that, expand the roster or whatever.
The Reds called up their minor leaguers for opening day, so if they call up anybody,
I'm not talking about the Reds, fucker. I'm just talking about in general. Do they still do that?
Yeah, they generally do.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a shit about the Pirates Nationals game right now.
No, fuck. All right. Let's I tell you what, let's go to we're gonna get our picks together here, Jackpot. And week 5. And we get this up here and moving. All right, so picks. So let me share these really quick here, and we'll get these out of the way, and then we'll take some calls. And I appreciate the folks that call the show, by the way, just so you guys know. It's kind of cool to have you folks checking in with the program.
What he said, hey, Chris has kind of got it on point there. What he said, he's talking about the offensive staff that they've got there now. And he said, it's like Brandon Streeter, he said, like Dabo Sweeney's cousins. He said, calling the plays for Clemson. He said, then they got C.J. Spiller as the running back coach. He said, he's like the one black friend. He's like, like everybody's got to say, I got a black friend. He said, and that's what C.J. Spiller is. And I'm like, oh, what?
Damn it. All right, Jackpot. First game on the air is Kentucky at Ole Miss. Kentucky is a 4-point underdog on the road. Jackpot, which way you rolling in this game?
Okay, at 4 points, I like Ole Miss here. Now, if it goes past that key number of 7, I don't like it anymore. But I do like Ole Miss to cover that 4. Basically, I would take anything 6.5 or down. But if it gets to 7 or more, I would stay away from it. Because I think Kentucky could keep it close. They could keep it close. But it wouldn't shock me. That would shock me if they got blown out. But I'm taking Ole Miss and them 4 points.
Yeah, here's the thing. With this game here, we don't really know much about either team. And I know that sounds kind of silly, but I mean, who has Ole Miss played that you could sit here and bank on, hey, they've shown that they were a decent football team there. I mean, I guess their biggest win is over Georgia Tech. They look kind of sloppy against Tulsa. So here's the thing with this one. I
They're
think
playing a lot better defensively than they have in the past. We'll say.
I think both teams, and I agree with Brock. I think both teams are frauds. And
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's not like we're going to be talking about them. They're going to be going to this could be a battle to see who goes to the fucking Birmingham Bowl. It's kind of the way that I see it. But here's the thing. I think that Lane Kiffin's a great offensive coach. I think that Coach Stoops is a good coach too. He's going to be great when he leaves that shithole in Lexington and goes to Auburn or insert other school here, where they actually appreciate his talent. So I think that it's kind of, I think people they bet against Kentucky a lot. I'm going to take the Wildcats to cover here simply because I like their coach. And I think that they have the more impressive win going down to the Swamp and winning down there. So I'll take Kentucky and get the 4 points, even though there's something about it that says that Ole Miss could blow them out. But as of right now, I really don't know what Ole Miss has. And I do know going into the Swamp and winning is a big deal. So I'll take Kentucky +4. Next one's Wake Forest at FSU. Wake Forest, the 2-point underdog on the road. What you got, Jackpot?
Yeah, so I mean, this one could you see some weather affecting this game, and I mean, I think that could potentially slow down Wake Forest's throw game a little bit, but the bad weather may have moved on from that area of Florida by that time, and I'm also thinking that with that bad weather, the crowd might be dumbed down a little bit. I don't expect to see a packed house there. So that could probably play to Wake's advantage a little bit too. And I also just think Wake Forest has a better offense, and I definitely think they have a better quarterback. Sometimes we'll see teams like they get beat twice if they play an emotional game and then they lose it, kind of like they did. But, really, I think that Coach Clawson probably – I think he's got a very junior and senior laden team there, and I think they're probably pretty mature, and I think he's probably got them coached up pretty well. So maybe that's not going to be the case. With all that being said, I just said a million words to I could have just told you. I think Wake Forest is going to cover that. I think they actually win that ball game. Florida State's they've been kind of a do-wop feel good story so far this year, but. Yeah, I mean, who have they really beaten? I mean, let's just be real. Let's just be real. I mean, the LSU win, I guess that was a nice one, but I mean, it was a very sloppy game. Very sloppy game. I guess the Louisville one on the road was decent for them, but I'm about as convinced that they're a good team as I am on Kentucky. So let me go on ahead and take Wake Forest.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This is a tough game to pick too. Simply because of what Jackpot said about Wake Forest. Are they going to let that Clemson loss hang over their head? I'm kind of 50-50 on it, but I'm going to take FSU at home -2. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go with Wake Forest. I mean, it's that close to me. Give me Wake Forest +2. Next game is Texas A&M at Mississippi State. Texas A&M is a 1.5-point underdog on the road as they head to the land of the cowbell. Jackpot, which way do you want to roll on that one?
Started slow last week, should have lost last week, didn't lose last week, will lose this week. Give me the cowbell, cover that 1.5, and win this game at home outright. I still think Texas A&M is fraudulent.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It seems like we keep expecting Texas A&M to get their face kicked in, and they never do. But that offense for Texas A&M is just not very good. And I think that Mississippi State will do enough, and they will get the win in the land of the cowbell. Georgia's at Mizzou. Georgia is a 28.5-point favorite over the MIZZOU Jackpot. It's our friends at the Mazodcast are not very happy right now.
Yeah, they have reason to. And I think they're going to have even more reasons after this one. I think Georgia will go out there and just beat the ever-living shit out of them. Simply because I think Georgia played like their D- game this past week and still won by 17 over a Kent State team that is a decent group of 5 team. It's a decent team in the MAC, probably one of the better teams in the MAC, but should have been competing with Georgia. They scored way more points than anyone scored on them all year. And I think they're going to be full of themselves this Saturday afternoon. I think they're going to go out there and take it out on Mizzou. And, I mean, Mizzou, you know, that you talk about emotional. How could you get up for a game against the number 1 ranked team in the country after what happened to them this past Saturday? I just don't see it. I think this game. I think it could be 28-0 in the first quarter. I really do.
I don't know if I don't know what Mizzou's got left. I really don't. And they've got one guy that in Luther Burden that's supposed to be a star that a lot of other teams wanted him. Hello, Georgia. Hello, Alabama. All these other teams wanted this guy, and he said, "You know what? I want to stay close to home." And he goes out there, and I don't even think he had a touch in the game against Auburn. I don't know what the hell's going on with Eli Drinkowitz. I mean, he's living on his own fucking planet. I'm going to take Georgia to win by 40, but we'll take the 28.5 here.
Okay, I want to respond. I want to respond to the idiot in the comment section real quick. I want to respond to the idiot in the comment section.
We've
Kentucky
got
Derby.
Oh,
NIU and Miami are picked to win MAC divisions. Kale thinks not enough. I don't really understand what any of that means. Okay, well, I've got Phil Steele's magazine out. Northern Illinois is predicted to finish number 2 in the West, and they actually have Miami picked to finish number 1 in the East. So this is not plural. They are not predicted to win MAC divisions because NIU is not predicted by Phil Steele, and that's what I go with. That's what we go with here on this channel. Now, I mean, if you want to debate me on it, so you're telling me that the team that, the team that is predicted to finish first there, no, it doesn't got me so out of my element. The team that's picked to finish number 2 in the West there played you to an 8-point game in your stadium on Saturday night. Could have beat you. But they didn't. So, yeah, I mean, I've long said you guys need to join the MAC. I mean, because you just seem to be your mode of competition there. Now he says it's just one worthless rag. So tell me which rags are worth something? Which rags are worth something?
It's whatever rag deep
The
throat.
ones that suck the Smurf penis?
Probably.
Yeah.
Moving on. Don't entertain him. He's dumb. I'm not. He is legitimately dumb. Like every comment that he makes is just fucking stupid. He hasn't said much of anything.
He does. Every time I look down here and I see the K, that K avatar, and then to the right of it is just pure, unadulterated, just crap.
Yeah. I mean, it's just ridiculous. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Well, he said it's no wonder the way that you pick games that you're in 18th place. I don't think you're at 18th.
I don't know where I'm at, but here's what I know. I know that when I comment in the comment section, I can put things that aren't fucking dumb. And I don't have to put about my team playing MAC teams. Okay? I don't have to do that. So there's that. Alabama's at Arkansas. Alabama's a 19-point favorite on the road, jackpot. This is in the land of the hog. They're doing a red out. What the fuck?
This game's kind of intriguing. Should have won last Saturday in the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. I won't call it Jerry World because I think that sounds stupid. But they should have won. The little girl kicker. We already talked about that. Alabama, scored a shit ton of points this past week. Really, really looked impressive blowing Vanderbilt out. I don't know, man. That 19 points. Arkansas played them tough last year. I think Arkansas realizes. They gave up their one. They may not have another shot at winning the West if they don't win out. And I think they know that. I think Pittman's an emotional guy. I think he's going to have them ready. Sometimes you play emotional, though. You don't play focused. I think they play focused here. I'm gonna take the Hogs in the red out. I'm gonna take them to cover that. I don't think they win, but I think they'll keep it within that 19 somewhere.
Yeah, that's kind of where I think a lot of people are floating. But you know what? I'm gonna go with Alabama. There's just something in my heart that says that Alabama's gonna come in and just wallop them. Last season they beat them by I don't remember how much, but that was in Tuscaloosa. I know that, but I do know their pass defense is terrible, and I think that Nick Saban's gonna want Young to air it out a little bit, and Alabama has the defensive line they can match up with that big nasty offensive line that Arkansas has. So give me Alabama minus 19. Next game is NC State at Clemson. When this started, Clemson was a 13-point favorite. The line's down to 6 now. So jackpot, which way are you rolling with this game? With the line change, dropping that much, which way are you going to go?
Yeah, I think it's obvious where I'm going to go. I'm going to roll with NC State. I think that this bad weather. I don't know necessarily who that would favor in that situation, but I think they're really good. Clemson, I don't know about. This defense that we were told was all world, that it's going to be hard for anybody to score on them. And I'm not trying to make fun of Clemson here because I would never do that. But it's just I just haven't seen it this year. And I think NC State's better than Wake Forest, and I think they could have a tough time. I think they could have a tough time Saturday night. I'm going to take NC State to cover that one. It could be another close win. But Clemson wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me to see either one of these teams win. Clemson has won. What's it been since 2016? The last time they lost at home. I just kind of look at things sometimes from a law of averages perspective, and it's like they're due. They're due to lose at home, and they haven't lost a night game in Death Valley since 2013. have not lost a night game since 2013.
That was Florida State with Jameis Winston, right?
Oh yeah, man, it was. Loved it. Watched it all. But yeah, I think that I think NC State covers this big number.
Tristan with the $10 super chat. Thank you, Tristan. He says Bryce Young in true road games is 4-1, but all 4 wins have been by 3 points or less. Give me Arkansas. Okay. We appreciate the super chat, sir. All right. So here's the thing. One of my good friends is Jonathan Reynolds, who used to do a radio show in Columbia. Jonathan is an NC State fan. I'm telling you this because Jonathan is actually trying to save souls now. He is a pastor that's out there saving souls and trying to get people to come to Jesus and all of that. I say that because Jonathan's the only NC State fan I know that's worth a shit. Their coach is a pussy. What are we going to do if we can't fly from Raleigh to Clemson? Get on a fucking bus. Went out to a damn bowl game and didn't play the game but wanted the trophy. They are a fucking fraudulent ass program. And I know that Devin Leary is a good quarterback and the line is at 13 points here. I'm going to take Clemson just because fuck NC State. Fuck them with a yard iron. So there's that. Everybody wanting Clemson to lose this game too. I hope they blow them the fuck out. Then everybody's got to rewrite their fucking copy points. I'm getting tired of that shit too, by the way. Everybody's blowing, Clemson sucks. They're winning games. They go into Wake Forest, by the way, who'd finished second in the SEC East. Wake Forest is better than Tennessee. Wake Forest is better than Kentucky and the rest of you fucking idiots over there. All right. They'd finished second in the SEC East. They went up there and they won that game. Sam Hartman's goddamn 30 years old out there throwing the ball. They are a good team, and yet these motherfuckers still want to run their mouths about them. But Clemson's averaging winning games by like 20 points, but yeah, Clemson sucks. They're going to beat the shit out of fucking NC State. Give me Clemson.
Joe, I'm eating chicken nuggets from Burger King.
Very good, sir. Give me Clemson minus 13. Iowa State at Kansas. Kansas, not in the top 25, but they're 4-0 on the year. Jackpot, which way you rolling there, buddy?
Sadly, I think the run of covering and the run of wins comes to an end. I think Iowa State's I think that defense is just too good. Give me the Iowa State Cyclones there.
You know what? I think the story continues. Give me Kansas. Why not? Kansas plus 3.5 at home. Michigan at Iowa. Michigan's a 4-point favorite at Iowa. Michigan hasn't really been tested, in my opinion, Jackpot. Do you like the Wolverines or the Hawkeyes here?
Played Maryland last weekend, and they didn't cover the spread. They fumbled the opening kickoff. I just think Iowa. I think Iowa's just a wet-ass poot of a team. I mean, you talk about a wet poot. Kentucky's a wet poot, and I think Iowa is another wet poot. And those two actually squared off in the bowl game last year or two. It's two wet farts together. I'm sure it stunk up Orlando or wherever the hell they're at. So I'm going to take Michigan there. I think they beat them pretty soundly.
I think Michigan, you're right. Michigan will rally and win there at Iowa. Iowa, every time I watch them play, they just look slow. You know what I'm saying, Jackpot? They look like their coach has got them somewhat in a position where they can make plays, but then they're just too fucking slow to make them. So give me Michigan -4. By the way, for folks asking where the picks are, I posted it right there. It's up on the website, robandkaleshow.com. Week 5, Callaway's Pick'em Challenge. So there you go. Oklahoma State at Baylor. Oklahoma State getting 1 point going to Baylor. This is a toss-up game here. Would you agree, Jackpot?
It is. I'm going to take Baylor. Oklahoma State's given up some points this year to given up a lot of points. Now, I thought defensively they were going to be really good. What's that guy? What's his name? Jim Knowles was the D coordinator that went to Ohio State. They replaced him with Derek Mason. Obviously, being at Vanderbilt for all those years impaired Derek Mason's ability to coach defense because they're not doing it there. So I'm gonna take Baylor. I'm gonna take the home team.
Mike says hot take: Gumpson dogs each get a loss. Okay. JT Thompson says Burger King 10 count for jackpot. All right. Good enough for that one. This one I'm going to take Baylor because they're at home. LSU at Auburn. LSU is a 1.5 point underdog on the road at Auburn. I think Auburn's a shit show, jackpot. I think LSU wins this game, and I think they blow them out. I don't think Auburn's worth a fuck. So give me LSU plus 1.5.
Yeah, I will take LSU as well. I think Auburn's pretty bad. Pretty bad.
All right, and the final game is the Kale Hall Special, where we have New Mexico State at home against FIU. This is an FIU team that, ladies and gentlemen, lost to Western Kentucky. They lost to a directional school from Kentucky, 73-0. And they're playing the fine folks from New Mexico State. New Mexico State is a 14.5 point favorite at home. Jackpot, first of all, why did you pick this shitter? And second, who are you picking here?
Well, I mean, just because the Kale Hall Special has to be a shitter. So I figured this was a good one to pick. With that being said, God dang it, who's FIU? FIU, yeah, like we said, got beat 73-0 by New Mexico. Where was I at? By Western Kentucky. Also, their one win was a 1-point thriller in overtime, I think, against FCS Bryant University. And then they also lost the game to Texas State by like 30. New Mexico State is 1-4. Played a good game against UTEP, who got a win last week. They also have played Minnesota and Wisconsin, and scored like a combined 7 points in those games. But the thing is, they're battle tested. And then with FIU traveling to New Mexico State, you got to think. I know FIU is near Miami, I think. So the hurricane is kind of this way from there. But you got to think, are these folks is their mind going to be elsewhere? Is their mind going to be elsewhere? I don't think they're going to be focused on this game at all. I think that the New Mexico State Aggies, I think they wear them out and win very easily. In fact, it could be worse than last week.
Yeah, if you lose by 73, I'm never fucking picking you in anything. Give me New Mexico State minus 14.5. All right, so there you go, jackpot. There are our picks for the week. And I tell you what, now it's time. We're going to take some phone calls. If you would like to call the show, 803-470-2905. We put it down here with the bouncing ball here so you can follow along. 803-470-2905. Mike with another chat here. Thank you for the super chat. We'll read that in a second. Let's answer the phone. And welcome to the program. Good evening.
Hey, it's Big Barney Ross. I want to talk Kentucky Ole Miss. Now, the best thing about this game is by Saturday afternoon, we're going to know if Kentucky really is a wet fart. Or Kentucky has to win the state of Mississippi in order to win the election this year. If we lose either one of those games, it's over. We got to beat Ole Miss and we got to beat Mississippi State. If we lose, it's pretty much our season's done. But if we win both of them games, we're going to look like DeSantis. If we lose one or both, we're going to look like McConnell. And nobody wants to look like Mitch McConnell. But the take on this is I think Kentucky has to go down there and win this by 10 points or better in order for some people to start taking, Kentucky a little more serious than what they really are. But, Ole Miss is without a couple of players, but it's still going to be a tough challenge. But I think if they can go down there and get it done and win by at least 10, I think that'll get the monkey off their back. And I don't know. That's my thoughts on it. Big Barney Ross, I'm out.
Thank you, Big Barney Ross. Mike says if Vol fans actually think they can beat LSU and Baton Rouge, I feel bad for how dumb they are. Poor man's Notre Dame bragging about not winning championships. And by the way, Big Barney Ross with a good point there. Kentucky's goal is obviously to finish second in the SEC East. And to do that, they need to win the state of Mississippi. So, yeah, good point there. Welcome to the program. Good evening.
Excuse me, what coach were you criticizing early in the show?
I don't know. It's been a long show, sir. What are you talking about? Enlighten me to what I said, because I say a lot of dumb things.
You really, first of all, we do agree on that. You really don't know which coach you were criticizing for like 5 minutes at the beginning of the show.
Oh, you talking about Dave
right?
Dorn? You talking about Dave Dorn? Yeah, I fucking fuck Dave Dorn.
Okay, and what was your problem with him?
He's a cunt.
Can you elaborate on that? I'm sorry, I
He
don't
is a
speak cunt.
Yeah, well, obviously you do. He is a cunt. Fuck him. Fuck his program. Fuck all of them. There you go. Do I have to go any further?
Are you aggravated?
Because look, NC State to me is like you with Florida, where you troll the Florida fans till the end of time. You know what I'm talking about. I mean, that's how NC State is with me. They are a fucking pest on a piece of dog shit. That is what they are.
Well, here's the difference. I have actual facts and history on my side. I think you might have been pushing the issue on some of that stuff. Listen, you whine and cry about.
Hold on, respectfully, sir. What did I push the issue on?
Interestingly, you said respectfully. When it comes to I'm not sure as a Clemson fan you really want to compare issues on coaches. Your coach pumped your players full of steroids and then baptized them in the name of Jesus and claimed that everything was okay as you rolled out players.
Sir, if you have issues, first no player that played that tested positive for steroids actually played in a game. But go ahead with whatever it is you need to go with there. By the way, sure, go ahead.
I got a question for you. All summer long, you use the term SEC least.
Yes.
I think we have 3 teams in the top 10. Are we still the SEC least, by the way?
Yes. Will you have 3 teams in the top 10 on November 26th? Put your balls out there. You think that's going to happen?
Will any will the entire ACC have those same
no,
teams?
Don't spin, sir. Do not spin like a washing machine.
He's getting in spin mode.
You have 3 top 10 teams. Are you going to put your balls out there and say you're going to have 3 there? Do you want to go that route, or do you want to sit here and talk about, we have 3 ranked teams in the top 10 in September? Yay!
I am not spinning. First of all, you have to be thin enough to spin, which I am, and you are not. You are too fucking fat to spin.
You're exactly right.
Spin at all.
You're exactly right.
Listen
what else
to
you
me
got?
Very carefully.
I'm
you
listening.
made a fool out of yourself.
How did I make a fool out of myself?
And now we're here to prove ourselves with Kentucky, Tennessee, and Georgia. We're here to stay. And guess what? I'm sorry, Jackpot. I love you, buddy. You're out of the club. You're not part of it. But the fact is,
them other two ain't gonna be in the treehouse very long.
Hey,
okay, ain't gonna be in the treehouse very long. Both of them are frauds.
Let me make sure that we understand something.
Both of them are frauds. And both of them can lose to the Gamecocks.
You make comments about me being a chunky bastard, but here's what I've got. I've got you on tape saying that Kentucky are on the same level as the Georgia Bulldogs, sir. That's what you just said. Do I have to even remotely go anywhere else? You are putting Kentucky and Tennessee on the same level as the defending national champion. That's what you just did. You are sir. I don't know what your problem is.
I don't deny that. I do not deny that for 1 minute. That level is top notch.
You think that those 2 teams are top 10 programs? Go ahead, say it again. That way I've got it twice.
Beating Akron and Ball State's akin to winning a national title now.
Rob, you
I don't
and
have to say
Carolina
anything.
Jackpot both need to deal with it that the SEC East is here to stay this year. Kentucky, Tennessee, and Georgia are top-notch teams, and all of y'all need to deal with it. Look,
I'll give you Georgia, but Kentucky and Tennessee have a lot of work to do, sir. Even their fans will tell you that.
How many losses do all three of us have combined right now? Huh? How many losses?
0.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, a bunch of wins over some MAC teams too.
Just when I think
they're 5-0, they're 5-0 against MAC. No, yeah, 5-0 versus MAC teams.
Peyton Megan is literally he gets dumber by the second. I don't think that anyone sits here and thinks that Georgia and Kentucky are on this, or excuse me, Kentucky and Tennessee are at the same fucking level as Georgia. Anyway, next caller, welcome to the program.
Hey, what is up, boys? It's your boy Joe from New York, and as a Tennessee fan, we're not on the same level as Georgia. But still, as you guys said, there's a lot of work we have to do defensively because that defense is doo-doo. But I think we're going to go down there and beat LSU next week. LSU's getting a lot better with their defense, and they're playing a lot better ball. I'm surprised to beat Mississippi State, but I think we have a pretty good shot, noon game, to go down there and beat them. What do you guys think?
I think you got a shot.
First, yeah. It's not like you have no chance. I mean, I think it's like a 60-40 split there, in my opinion. If it were a night game, I'd probably lean a hell of a lot more heavier towards LSU. But you got them at high noon. And those Cajun folks won't be that drunk yet, so it might be a little closer.
Oh yeah, no, listen, brother, I agree with you, man. If that was a night game, I'd shit my pants. And listen, man, I'm a big Tennessee fan. I said in the chat, my dad was born in Ohio. So he's a Buckeyes fan, Indians fan, Browns fan, all that shit. Feel bad for the guy. Besides the Buckeyes. So when I was like 8 or 9, Tennessee was playing, and I was like, you know what? I'll still pull for these guys. Probably one of the worst mistakes I made in my life. But, those are my boys. I watch them all the time. I went up and seen them a couple times. I drove up to Pittsburgh. They play basketball out here and stuff. So, but I love college football. It's my favorite sport, man. But before I leave, I want to say one more thing. Oklahoma State is the most fraudulent team in college football. They are going to, I'm telling you right now, Baylor's winning this game by 2 touchdowns on Saturday. Mark my words, it's happening because they have played nobody. Sanders has 1 touchdown and 7 interception ratio against Baylor. This guy, Baylor's going to win. Baylor's winning this game.
All right, hey, man.
I'm feeling that.
Program. Thank you, brother. Have a good night, all right?
You too, boys.
All right, there you go.
Up in the comment section, Elijah Allen says, but beating the defending HCC champion and Florida, okay, you can't make fun of the ACC and then brag about beating their champ in the same sense. Don't worry. And Florida are nothing but shame. Beamer and those chickens struggle against Georgia State and Charlotte. GTFO of here. Laughing emoji times 6. How did South Carolina struggle against Charlotte? Didn't we win by 36, 56-20, something like that? Yeah. Something like that. Yeah, I tell you who did struggle against them. Tennessee a couple years ago when they beat them 14-3. So we've scored like 3 times as many points against Charlotte as Tennessee ever has in their history.
Good evening, Tater Man, and also good evening, Jackpot, because this is a Wake Forest man. I'm not really going to talk much about the ACC. I want to get into Jackpot's territory a little bit. Because these Tennessee fans are honestly out of control. If they think they even have an inkling of a chance of beating LSU, oh, you just love LSU. No, I am a Wake Forest fan, right? I'm a loser, right? I play in that trash conference. if you think you can go into Baton Rouge and win, you're out of your mind. Tennessee fans are, like someone said it, poor man's Notre Dame. You just rest on your laurels. And, well, Peyton Manning went to my school. Cool. Tennessee is a joke. And maybe next week we can talk about Kentucky because you're not much better. But Tennessee is a force that needs to be stopped. They are out of control.
All right, appreciate it. 803-470.
Tennessee, you know what their offense, the team reminds me of. You remember back in like 08, 09 when the Pirate was at Texas Tech and he had like Michael Crabtree and those dudes playing wide receiver, and I mean they were frisbee catching dogs. And they were real fun to watch, and they won all their games like 45-42, and I mean they ran up about 9 or 10 wins, I think, but I mean really did nothing nationally relevant. That's kind of what it reminds me of. I mean it's fun to watch, but in the end, I mean I just don't think there's a lot of substance there.
803-470-2905, 803-470-2905.
Am I wrong? Am I in the building? Am I on the pathway? Am I?
Look, after Peg and Megan's call, all you have to do is bend over and fart, and
Do
you
you
make
smell
better
what I'm
sense
cooking?
than you did. If you bent over and fart, we probably would. Anyway, 803-470-2905, 803-470-2905. If you would like to join the program this evening, 803-470-2905. Yeah, we got our games picked. Jackpot, your Gamecocks are playing tomorrow. We did not have them in the Pick'em Challenge. First of all, I couldn't find a line on it. The one line I found had Gamecocks minus 43, I think it was.
Mr. Christopher Phillips on the Spurs Up show had a graphic with them minus 38.5, which I think is kind of low.
The big thing with that is that SC State, they're not even really a good FCS team this year. Tomorrow night, South Carolina, I think, should just roll the ball out there and win by 5 or 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really much to talk about with that game. Joe says, when does Dabo finally go to the transfer portal? That's one of the flaws Dabo Sweeney has. He doesn't want to do it. I don't. He needs to figure that shit out quickly. Because
I mean, he doesn't go out and hire great coaches either. He's just plucking the cousins, and putting them on that offensive staff.
Well, he hired Tony Elliott, who's the head coach at Virginia. He hired Brent Venables, who's the head coach at Oklahoma. I don't know where you're going.
That was a while back. Okay. I mean, they're all like, everybody there is like they played for Clemson, or I don't know. It's just that hence the Dabo Sweeney's cousins comment.
803-470-2905, 803-470-2905. Chris is up with a dumb comment that I will not read.
They're going to let him hand out water. They're going to let him watch the jump straps.
I think Marshawn Lloyd and the Gamecock running backs will run all over SC State.
He'll probably be putting his hands on them and playing like puppets or something.
Go ahead.
Good evening, gentlemen. This is the Biscuit. How you guys doing?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, hey, Jackpot. F you, our women's volleyball team just beat y'all. So in your face tonight, it just happened. So great stuff there. Hey, I've got a proposal. Since the Miami Hurricanes are no longer even a Category 1 storms, can we call them the Tropical Depressions until they can beat a Group of 5 team?
Whatever the fuck.
Exactly.
That's pretty.
So last Sunday night, I think we upset an A&M fan. I see no reason why we shouldn't do that tonight. So, congratulations on their big win. But the only thing A&M fans like to do more than win football games is they like to yell and dance and cheer. Have you guys ever seen their little antics that they do before the games?
I watched a clip
the little
of it
yell
before
practice.
I watched a clip of the one before the App State game, and it was after the App State game, and the only reason it had went viral was because the kid that was leading it was making fun of App State and for being, hillbillies or whatever the term he used. I don't know. And then they got that ass beat.
Yep.
So it was like a pretty big deal. But that's really the only time I've watched the yell practice. Thought it was kind of strange, to be frank. It's really, like they were trying to be funny, and it wasn't funny.
Yeah, for those in the audience that don't know, they somehow like hypnotize or convince 25 or whatever thousand of their students to come into the stadium on, I don't know what night it is, either a Wednesday or Thursday. And then they have like 5 to 10 guys down on the field. They're dressed in like, I guess the best way I could describe it is if a male hairdresser started an army, that's what he would dress them in. And then one of them, what's that?
I was gonna go ahead and finish your statement there, but then I have to read a comment and I want to get your reaction live on the show. But go ahead and finish your comment there.
Okay, sure. So then one of them, I don't know if one or all of them do this, and they take turns. One of them does this like 15 feet back and forth. He does this little hop skip thing where he acts like he's galloping on a pony, and then does this step turnaround. And he delivers the worst stand-up comedy you've ever heard in your life. It's like if you've ever been to a comedy show and one of the comedians just fails and no one's laughing, it's uncomfortable and awkward. He does this for a few minutes, and in the crowd you hear a couple of laughs every once in a while, but then nothing else. So they have videos on YouTube where they're like, I saw one where they were in a theater and they have one guy up front giving instructions, and he's putting his hands on his hips, and he's saying, "When I do this, you yell," and going through the gyrations and the. Hey, everybody! We just made 3 points. Everybody, stand up. You know what that means? When my hands are on my hips.
Jesus, terrible. Biscuit, can you respond to this comment from Hunter Slay? He says Biscuit's personality. And I'm reading it verbatim, so don't. This is from Hunter Slay here. He says Biscuit's personality is like a leftover cold biscuit that's been laying around for 2 days, and you pick it up and eat it, and it's not worth a damn. Your thoughts, sir?
Show us on this doll where Biscuit hurt
my
you.
question on that would be, why would you see a biscuit like that and put it in your mouth, retard?
Good point. Good point.
You see an old biscuit that's laying around, you stick it in your mouth. What else is he putting in his mouth?
I will leave that up to the imagination. But
I don't know. I don't know. That's a good. God damn it! All right, Biscuit. Have a good night, man.
All right, man. See you.
There you go.
No, he's talking about stand-up comedy. You know who puts on a good stand-up comedy routine is old Ron White. And he's retiring this year after being on the road for like 40 years. 2022 is his last year. We went and saw him in Cherokee at the 1st of August. And he had a one little bit where he was talking about he bought a plane some years ago, like a private plane. And he said it was an old one, I guess, and he needed to do some work to it. And he said, I told my ex-wife, I said, I'm going to paint a skull and crossbones on the bottom of my plane. And she said, well, you can't do that. That's like saying, fuck the universe. And he says, okay, well, you're not going to like my other idea, which was to paint fuck the universe on the bottom.
Welcome to the program. Good evening.
Hey, man, I'm from Dallas, Texas. Hey, Rob, you're a cool dude, but I want to tell Jackpot, man, I've been watching him the last 3 years. Man, I feel like everybody should be able to watch y'all show, man. Y'all should be worldwide, man. Y'all are funny. I love the SEC football. I love college football, period. But my favorite team, Dallas Cowboys. But college football, I mean, I love the people to be calling in. because that country twang, my old white man, they be going in. Do like the what's it so called? The Paul Farmbar show.
Yeah.
Both y'all shows, man. I love y'all, man. Jackpot, man, keep doing your thing, Jackpot. That's all
right, buddy.
Yeah, I love y'all, man.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Have a good night.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. So we have Cowboys fans calling us from Texas. Awesome.
It's awesome.
803-470-2905, 803-470-2905.
You can't do that. It's like fuck the universe.
Fuck the universe. God damn it. Welcome to the program. Good evening.
And this great day to be alive.
No, I'm not. You're not.
Oh, God, no.
Fuck off.
No.
Fuck off forever. You're not singing on the program. 803
Hell no to the no.
Nope. So anyway, yeah. 803-470-2905. Let's go out to the phones. Welcome to the program.
This is Baylor man, also from Texas.
Oh, okay. Well, we're big
Good
with
evening.
Texas. Hello, what's up, buddy?
Yeah. Well, a couple things are what's up. First of all, shout out to both of you guys for being smart on your pick 'em with my Bears. For someone to be at that game, making a fool. But I was thinking as I was listening to you and Tag and Megan kind of bicker back and forth, I was thinking, you know what? I think Rob and Pagan ought to start their own podcast. Call it Pup Tater.
I couldn't do a show with Peg and Megan because I would get dumber by osmosis. So I couldn't do that. I would be so dumb in fucking 2 shows. I wouldn't be able to button my shirt, and I wouldn't be able to read. That's how dumb he would make me by osmosis. So anyway.
Hey.
All right, Baylor man, I appreciate it. Thank you for calling and always watching the show, buddy. You have a good night, all right?
Yeah. You too. Sick and Bears.
See you later.
The Biscuit over in the comment section pointing out that there's a pile of shit on the floor, and he's requesting for Hunter to put it in his mouth. Only here, ladies and gentlemen, only here.
Oh, man. Anyway, 803-470-2905. We always learn something on this show. We always do. 803-470-2905, 803-470-2905. By the way, if hurricanes do affect they cancel a game or whatever because of the hurricane, that's part of the Callaway's Pick'em Challenge. That game just won't count.
It's considered a push.
It's considered a push because Ian always gets a push.
You know, I'm kind of weary of. I don't know if Carolina Jackpot's going to be heading up to Pennsylvania Saturday morning or not.
We shall see. Well, welcome to the program. Good evening.
What's going on, fellas? Hunter Slay over here.
Hi, Hunter. How are you?
Hey, you don't have any poop in your mouth, do you? You better be clean.
Ass biscuit on my mouth.
Hold on. I was just wondering. I mean, Biscuit told you there was some shit you needed to eat. You're not eating shit live on the program, are you?
No.
Okay, good. Thank you for that.
That one hurt deep down.
Sure.
Hey, what does he got? He just gets on and rambles on about a bunch of shit. I mean, anyway.
What exactly are you doing right now, sir?
Kind of the same, but
you're rambling on about him rambling on about a bunch of shit. I'm just being honest.
Had to make the point.
Yeah.
True. What about Wake Forest, man? Hey, man, somebody got under his skin about that SEC East tonight. Thinking that Wake, I'm not saying Tennessee would blow Wake out, but Wake sure as hell wouldn't blow Tennessee out.
I mean, I think it'd be a pretty competitive game. And in all honesty, I mean, what do y'all think on that? Not being a homer or anything, but I think it would be a pretty competitive game.
I don't think
as Uncle Lou would say, I think it would be fun to watch.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously we know Tennessee's defensive woes, and I don't think Wake is the be all end all of defense either. So be a real good shootout game. But
yeah, you're probably right.
Anyway, I guess Tennessee will actually get a win this weekend as well since they're on the bye. But so I heard you say earlier about LSU. You're saying that you give Tennessee a 40%, like a 60-40. I'm assuming Tennessee with 40% chance
that's,
at LSU.
And the reason that I feel that way is because I think Tennessee can go down there and score some points. I think winning down there at LSU is tough, and I don't know if Tennessee is quite there yet. And I know that there's going to be some Tennessee fans that are going to bitch and say I'm going against them. Look, LSU fans are pissed at me because I've said to them that they had to go get a fucking Ohio State reject to be their damn quarterback to win a national title. Their fans don't like me either. Okay. And they're pissy with me. So I wouldn't mind Tennessee going down there and whipping their ass. That'd be fucking great. Tennessee fans would fucking jizz all over their face. It'd be great. So
I mean, I agree with you. I don't think that, and again, I mean, we all see this on here. There's a lot of Tennessee fans. Oh, we're going to go there and beat the shit out of them. But no, I mean, it's not going to be like that. I mean, I think they might sneak out there with a win, but it'll be the most competitive game I believe they had. Because here's the thing. They struggle. They sit back in that soft zone. I mean, that's what we do. We sit back in that weak zone. And they don't put a spy out there. And Jaden Daniels could run better than Richardson can. So I think that's going to cause us problems.
We have a week to worry about that game. But hey, Hunter, I appreciate you calling the show, and I hope you don't eat shit like Biscuit said too. See you later. Don't eat shit. There you go.
Well, I mean, here's my thing. I mean, I know what Tennessee's identity is. I know what their identity is. You know, I picked it up, and there was.
Wait, is it mustard? Is it mustard throwing and looking for fluoride? Is that their identity?
Yes. Well, no. I mean, offensively, I know what their identity. What is LSU? I mean, what really? I mean, what are they good at? I mean, are they a defensive team? Are they an offensive team? I mean, what I don't know. I'm not sold on them still. So, I mean, hell, they lost to fucking Florida State at home, basically.
Big Marty Ross with the super chat. I got to read the super chat, Jackpot. You have that's a good point there, though. If Kentucky loses Saturday, first caller to call in and say Kentucky is going 11-1, they get a lifetime ban. Very good, Big Barney Ross.
Well, we know they're beating Georgia.
Shit. Yeah. Anyway, 803-470-2905. Last couple of minutes here on the program as we get set up for the weekend of games. Go and if you haven't made your picks yet, go ahead and do it. Knock it out. And yeah, South Carolina plays tomorrow night. They're a 30-something point favorite over SC State. Go back out to the phones. Welcome to the program. Good evening.
Hey, good evening, gentlemen. It's Texas A&M fan.
Hello, Texas A&M fan. How are you?
Hey,
I'm doing wonderful. Hey, listen, I just wanted to kind of clue this biscuit, Limp Biscuit, whatever his fucking name is. The fucking yell practice is on motherfucking Friday night.
Okay.
And the reason is a yell practice the night before the game. Why the fuck would we have it on Wednesday and Thursday? I don't know what team he is affiliated with or fan of, but yes, at Texas A&M we do have traditions. So I'm tired of these immature bastards getting on here and getting their jollies by trying to run down A&M. A&M has nothing to prove to these fucking little immature bastards that get on here and want to think they're cute by saying something.
I agree with you, Texas A&M fan. They have nothing to prove. They're going to go 8-4, and they have nobody to fucking argue and bitch about. You're absolutely right, sir.
Well, I mean, I think you're actually, believe it or not, Rob, I'm going to have to actually agree with that. I think we lost a big weapon this week with one of our leaders. I think we're going to have a down year too. But, like I said, next year, I think it's going to be a whole different story. I think we're building for something. But yeah, this year we're not looking good. I will say this on our behalf.
You lost one of your big leaders. Hold on, did the Florida trainer come and fuck Jimbo's wife again? What happened?
No, we lost that kid, that nice kid, the Smith kid, the guy that came back.
Well, we don't want anybody
yeah,
getting injured.
Yeah, that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt pretty bad. I mean, our offense is already anemic. So, I mean, I will say we're getting a little better on offense, but it's not near enough in these big games. Yeah, we're in a lot of trouble offensively. But I'm realistic. I don't have to get on here and fucking run your team down to make my team look better. I think that's chicken shit, and all these people who want to make a cute little comment. It's just fucking bullshit.
Hold on,
what it is. So,
look, and I can agree with you to a point on that. But when you're the defending national champion, you can mock fucking everybody. It is a Georgia fan, so you can say whatever the fuck you want when you're at the top. So there's that.
Well, and like I said, you can put a big asterisk by that national championship. I mean, they proved in the SEC championship game they couldn't cover Alabama's receivers, who, by the way, were not present for the last game. And I know we all say, that's circumstantial, but that's a huge issue. I mean, they had no business even being in the title game. But, I mean, if you can't win your conference champion, how do you get in the playoffs are a farce? I mean, until they change the format or whatever, how can you have a team that loses their last fucking game is in the playoff? There's no sense in having the playoff. The people up there are biased as fuck. They're dumb as fuck. The playoff committee has proven time and time again they have no business voting on those teams to put them in there.
But
so
look,
Georgia's number one, and they did win the championship. You can't take it away from them.
Okay, well, that's what I was going to say. Look, you don't think that Georgia, even with that loss, was one of the top 4 teams in the country? And by the way, they went in and they beat Alabama in the championship game. So they obviously figured something out. And trust me, I hope Georgia loses every fucking game they play. But we have to deal with facts here. They played Alabama again. They beat Nick Saban in the biggest game of the year. I don't know what else you want from them, man. I really don't.
Well, I mean, they beat the team that was in front of them. But like I said, there's some circumstances there that like I said. Now, were they one of the top 4? We'll never know because the playoff fucking committee doesn't put enough teams in there to even have a competition. It's a voting. It's a popularity contest. If Alabama's in anywhere around the country, they're going to be in there. I mean, how come they've got one loss? And I guess because they couldn't pass the eye test. No, they passed a little bit of money under the table. Let's get real about this shit. So no.
Well, I don't.
Until the playoffs.
Goddamn. I can't.
I mean, you can't take that because that's true. That's the facts of the matter or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's not, until the playoff is deemed the playoff. That's why the pros have wild card teams and they have teams that are building from something toward the end. Yeah, I mean, so Alabama's got one loss, they're automatically in there. Ohio State, our team, let's say a one loss USC or a one loss whoever, because they don't have the name brand, they're not going to be put in there. So until the playoff is fucking changed, there's not a true national champion in college football right now. So Georgia, they have the title by default. I'll give them that. But I'm like you, Georgia is, they're a good football team, but their university is overall sucks. That's all they are is a football team. So I don't have no respect for Georgia or their whole fucking bullshit. I hope they lose their fucking game.
So hold on, just so I'm on the same page here. You think that Georgia didn't belong in the playoff? You think that they paid their way in? I'm just making sure I'm following. Am I missing something? But Alabama should have been there, even though they had one loss. They lost to an 8-4 team, but that didn't finish in the top 25 and ducked Wake Forest for a bowl game because they knew what happened to them the last time they played Wake Forest. They got the double nickel hung on them, but Georgia didn't belong. Is that where you're coming from?
Well, I'm looking at it from the perspective as they didn't win their conference. I mean, so I mean, there's got to be some kind of parameters, So yeah, no, I believe unless you win, if you can't at least win your conference championship, I said no, you don't deserve. I would rather see a one-loss Pac-12 team in there that actually won their conference than Georgia. Now, whether they're better or not, that's subjectional. But that's subjectional, Rob. Yeah, you could say, Georgia's way better than any Pac-12 team that ever existed. You could say that.
I know, but I don't think there was another one-loss team that won their conference title, which is the curriculum that you're talking about here. That I don't think that was there. I think Georgia lost the SEC championship game and they got popped by Alabama, but to say they didn't belong in the playoffs is just silly. But I mean,
Well,
just
I
fucking
think
silly.
the playoff format in general is wrong. As far as that particular situation, yes. I mean, I'm not going to stand staunch that Georgia wasn't one of the best 4 teams in the nation. All right.
Well,
we'll never know.
let's just end on that. Thank you for calling the program, sir. We appreciate it. You have a good night. All right.
Y'all
There
have
you
a
go.
good one.
All right. Jeez. Jackpot. What the fuck happened there?
That just went off the rails. Big Barney Ross comments that this guy was conceived on a pull-out couch.
Welcome to the program. Good evening.
Hey, it's Chris from Georgia. I don't know what Tennessee did make that Wake Forest fan so mad. I don't think anybody's claiming we're going to win at all. I think Tennessee's still in the second in the East. I think they know that in the New Year's Six game. I think that would be really overshooting their goal for the year. I think most Tennessee fans
Peg
are
and
like
Megan said
9-3,
you're on
maybe
the
a 6
same
or
level
12.
as Georgia. You heard that earlier, right? You're on the same level as Georgia, according to Peg and Megan.
I mean, we're top 10 right now. If somebody beat us, I mean, if Clemson and Tennessee play tomorrow and you smoked us, would you say we beat a team that shouldn't have been top 10, or would you say we beat a top 10 Tennessee?
I'm on record on this show. The only rankings that really matter are the ones at the end of the season. So I may be the wrong one to ask that question to. So,
well, 90% of people are going to say, "Oh, we beat a top 10 team." I mean, Utah is not playing like a top 10 team, and
look, I don't
Florida
look. There were a
took that
couple.
to the
A
bank.
perfect example of why your theory is silly is because what was it, like 5 years ago? Florida State was ranked number 4 and Alabama was ranked number 2. They played the first game of the season. Alabama knocked out DeAndre Francois in the first 7 plays. They ended up putting somebody else in there. Florida State finished like 5-7 or some ridiculous number. But at the beginning of the season, they were a top 5 team. I don't think that anybody sits here and says, "Oh, that's a win by over a top 5 team." No, you beat a team that finished 5-7. That's what you do.
But it does happen.
I remember
Arkansas get love for beating a 5-7 Texas. Like that was like one of their best wins last year, and they took that to the bank. And everybody talked about how improved Arkansas. The first week and being 4 games into the season are 2 completely different things too. Like
and I get that, but Arkansas fans are really, really butthurt because they're the Vanderbilt of the SEC West. They have one more conference win heading into this season than Vanderbilt had since Mizzou and Texas A&M joined the league. So winning at Texas is like their fucking Super Bowl. It's like getting a blowjob from 7 straight women and then you get to fuck all of them. That's how they felt after that game.
that was a terrible. That they hit that upright, and I think the whole state of Arkansas about collapsed in on itself from all the gas they let out. Hey, I saw I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been CBS Sports or Fox Sports or somebody. They released their way too early bowl predictions, and they're predicting Tennessee and Clemson meeting up in Miami, and then Kentucky and Oklahoma State meeting up in the Sugar Bowl.
Oh, shit.
I'd like to see Tennessee's offense against Clemson, but they had Kentucky as a 2.5-point favorite against Oklahoma State. What do you think about that? I feel like Oklahoma State would just run up and down the field on them.
Well, that's one of those.
I think those predictions are going to take a swift kick in the rectum this Saturday, but it's just me.
So let me respond to SEC Dog really quick. He says Arkansas is not the Vanderbilt of the West. I said going into the season, they had 20 SEC wins since 2012. Vanderbilt had 19. That's all I'm saying. So there's that.
I think as much as I hate Kentucky and I think they're a farce and they're a fraud, I think they might win. But they also they run up on SEC, which they do have an 0-10 record against road teams in the SEC West under Mark Stoops, which is blows my mind how you can't win one SEC West road game, especially when
Abysmal. Even Will Muschamp won on the road.
But they've got a good habit of running into SEC West teams that aren't Mississippi State, like at their worst. Like they got LSU in their worst year since pre-Saban. They're getting Ole Miss when they're missing their two top running backs. Like I don't know. I hope Ole Miss wins, but I don't see it happening. I think Kentucky will win by 3, and they'll act like they beat the 85 Bears or something. But
well, you know what? I'll just say that Ole Miss is not.
All right, bud. See you later. There you go, jackpot. All right.
Well, if they do, I'll just be telling everybody how fraudulent Ole Miss is.
Yeah. Look, we'll find out who's better between those two. And, both of those programs are struggling to finish second in their division. It's the battle of who gets to be second place in their division. It's basically what that boils down to. All right, jackpot. Yep, we've had a good show. Do you want to go to 10:30 or what? We got to give them a couple more minutes here, or you want to just
Why not?
What's that? All right, so we'll go to 10:30. There you go.
I'm really looking forward to next Saturday night's game, though. I mean, I think South Carolina and Kentucky. I think it's going to be a good matchup, and I'm kind of hoping they win. Kind of hoping they win Saturday, because if they lose, they're going to come into that game against the Gamecocks. We need to get our respect, and they might just win. So I'd like to see them win this game Saturday.
Jackpot. If you were told, look, you can make a deal, and you're going to get a win over Kentucky or a win over Tennessee, and you got to lose to the other one, which one would you pick?
Tennessee.
He didn't have to think about it much. Like,
no.
All right. Well, final call for calls 803-470-2905. 803-470-2905. As we go out to the phones one more time here before we get out of here. Answer the phone, dummy. All right, there you go. Welcome to the program. Good evening.
Hey, good evening, boys. It's Tim from Sillyville, South Carolina.
From where?
Or where? Simpsonville, but I just call it Sillyville. Where Jackpot gets to spend a weekend, but apparently not weekdays anymore. I got a comment first, and then I got a couple of questions. On the caller earlier who was talking about the playoffs are fraudulent, this, that, and the other. He's not completely off the rails, because the Brass Domers, you have the rule that you don't need a conference championship because of Notre Dame. Am I wrong in that thought?
I get where you're coming from with that, but he said that Georgia paid to get into the playoff. After he said that, and Texas A&M fans been joining the show for a long time now. After he said that, I was like, I mean, that was Peg and Megan level. Peg and Megan level of stupid.
Okay. All right. And I think when they get to 12 teams, you're going to have, you got to watch some of these old SEC shorts, because they already did a video about when if they expand the playoffs, and the guy who plays the Alabama character says, all right, you want more blowouts? We'll give you more blowouts.
Good point.
But I got a question about Clemson.
Sure.
Everybody keeps talking about how much better DJU is. Oh, he's this, he's that. And I'm like, are you people not watching the same game I am? Because maybe I got the bar set just a little bit higher. Because I'm like, yes, he's better. However, he's still walking under the Trevor Lawrence bar. And most likely I would go back as far as, say, Taj Boyd bar. There have been some drops, but I still don't think he is that whirlwind next Trevor Lawrence, next Heisman Trophy candidate quarterback. What I want to know what you guys thought. And then the other side of the football is I realize there have been guys out on defense and so forth, but giving up that many points to Wake Forest is Well, that's what got Tommy Bowden fired. I'm just wondering, is that a coaching thing? Because I'm aware that the first couple of years of Brent Venables wasn't as idyllic as everybody thinks. There were some struggles, and I want to know what you guys think, and I'll listen off the air.
All right, appreciate it. Jackpot, you want to address any of that?
With Brent Venables, what about him?
Well, he was talking about the whole thing with Uiagalelei about, your thoughts on him, and I'm looking for a post here from a friend of the program, Lawton Swan from Clemson Sports Talk, and it's something when I read it, I was like, holy shit, when I read it, but I'm trying to make sure that I give you the full.
I mean, he's looked better this year by a lot. I would say he's looked a lot better, but then you see those moments of like 2021 filtering back in as well. So it's hard to say that he's really turned the corner, but he's definitely playing a lot better.
This is from Lawton Swan at Clemson Sports. The Clemson offense has been the second most productive in Tiger history through 4 games, scoring 175 points, trailing only the 2000 team, which scored 186. So as far as points scored, they're putting points on the board. I'll give them that, but I don't know. With Uiagalelei, I think that he's trying to get that NFL contract. We'll see how that rolls, man. I mean, the problem is that he came after a slew of great quarterbacks. Taj Boyd was a good quarterback, to Deshaun Watson, Kelly Bryant wasn't a bad quarterback, led him to the college football playoff. And then you've got Trevor Lawrence as well, right there in the mix. I mean, it's just, trying to fill all those shoes is just tough.
Kentucky Durbin makes this comment. I don't know what he's talking about. He says Wake's Matador is solid, would be at least 13th in the SEC. What is?
I don't know. Stop reading his comments. All right, Jackpot. We got a good show.
I get smarter by the minute when I listen to him. So
yeah, fair enough. All right. Well, we had a good show. We appreciate you guys as always, and we will see you later on.